Piglin bartering in Minecraft is an amazing way to get tons of different unique and valuable items. This video covers everything you need to know about it, and we're starting right now. Guys, YouTube tells me that most people who watch my videos aren't subscribed, so if you could subscribe, that would be awesome. Before we jump right into Piglin bartering, let's talk a bit about Piglins. Piglins are a neutral mob, meaning that they can be passive or hostile, that spawns in the Red Forest, in the Nether Wastes biome, and can also spawn in Bastions, which is a generated structure that features piglins. Within these biomes, they cannot spawn on nether wart blocks like this, or on warped wart blocks, which is the blue version of this. They also cannot spawn on magma blocks, which can generate in these biomes as well. Interestingly enough, piglins are afraid of zombified piglins, just like this. They're also afraid of soul items, so soul campfires, soul lanterns, and soul torches, just like this. You can see this is kind of scaring them and making them want to run around, and they'll make that kind of scared noise like that. The same thing will happen with zombified piglins, just like this. Probably the reason why piglins are afraid of zombified piglins is that when a piglin goes to the overworld or the end, they'll actually slowly zombify into a zombified piglin, and so they're probably looking at those as some sort of zombie version of themselves and are afraid of them because of that. Piglins can get angry at the players for a variety of reasons, and most of them are pretty silly. So for instance, if you're not wearing a gold helmet, they'll get angry at you. I'll show this off right now. I'll just go into survival next to these piglins and they will get hostile. But if I put on the gold helmet like this, suddenly they're passive with me. It's probably because they think that I'm a piglin because I'm wearing gold, maybe it's some sort of sign among them. Oh, this piglin isn't necessarily wearing gold, other than maybe these bits of gold on their texture. Now, interestingly enough, even if you're wearing a gold helmet, if you open up a chest next to a piglin, or break a chest, they will suddenly get hostile towards you, no matter what you do. Although what is also cool is you can actually make this effect not happen if you, let's say, want to get something out of a chest. You can get a hopper below it, and that hopper will get the items out of the chest, and then you can grab them out of the hopper, because the only items that they're actually get angry at when you open are chests and shulker boxes, because it's basically like a chest. But it's good to keep note of that opening chests around them do make them quite angry. Now piglins, like most mobs, can wear armor. But there's a difference. Piglins can always wear armor, so as something like a zombie, they can only, I think about half the time, wear armor or pick up an item. With a piglin, they can always wear armor, so let's say I would give it my gold helmet here, it would wear it no matter how many piglins I spawn and tried. They look at the armor for a bit here, inspecting it, and then after about 6 seconds, they put on the helmet just like this. Now once a piglin is wearing a piece of armor, they actually can never despawn unless they're killed. And so what's awesome about this is if you want to keep your piglins from despawning for whatever reason, you can make them wear armor. Of course, gold boots are the cheapest, but you can do whatever you want. They will wear other armor as well, however they always will favor gold, so even if they had diamond, they would not pick it up and exchange it for the gold, because gold is always the best type of armor in the piglin's opinion. Now of course, the main mechanic we're talking about in this video is piglin trading or bartering, and this is basically that if they see a piece of gold, they'll pick it up, and after inspecting it for a while, they will throw you a random item from a loot table. What's also interesting about this is that it can pacify them. So right now, I'm just going to take off my gold helmet, so this piglin would be angry at me. I'm going to go into survival and throw down a gold ingot. Instead of attacking me, even though I don't have what will make him passive, he's going to look at the ingot, and then after he's looked at the ingot, he is going to inspect it for a bit and now kill me, because of course he is now not pacified by the fact that he was looking at the gold. What's cool is that you can use this to avoid piglins attacking you, or if they're trying to attack you can give them some gold to pacify them. This actually works with any gold item. So piglins will only give you an item if you give them a gold ingot, but they will pick up and inspect any item that's made out of gold, including things like enchanted golden apples, so be careful with that because they will steal that and you can never get it back. In Java Edition, however, they do not look at and then grab gold powered rails. However, in Bedrock Edition they do. But other than that, every single item that's crafted with gold or has gold in it, the piglins will pick up and inspect. And of course, when working with piglins, it's always important to have a golden helmet on, or maybe golden boots, whatever piece of golden armor you would like, so that they're passive around you, because of course the second I take this off, they will turn hostile. However, putting it back on, they should turn passive again. Now on to the main focus of this video, piglin bartering. So piglin bartering is actually a very simple mechanic. either by dropping a piece of gold on the ground, or by right-clicking on a piglin that does not have any gold item in his hand, just like this. The piglin will inspect the gold ingot for 6 seconds in Java Edition and in 8 seconds in Bedrock Edition, and then throw you a random item out of this list of items, which does have a specific chance for each. I'll go over that a bit more in a second. What is an interesting difference is that at one point in the past, the items that piglins would give you were different in Bedrock Edition. However, now they're exactly the same, except for that instead of piglins giving you spectral arrows for one of the trades, they will give you normal arrows. So these are all the items you get through bartering. The first one is 1 piece of obsidian. Now the first list I'm going to go through, which is everything in that top row there, is all a 8.71% chance, or about a 9% chance. So the chance is 9% chance when you're trading with a piglin, so if you give them 1 piece of gold, they'll give you either 1 obsidian, 1 to 3 crying obsidian, 1 fire charge, 2 to 4 leather, we have 2 to 8 soul sand, 2 to 8 nether brick, 6 to 12 spectral arrows, or in Bedrock Edition, 6 to 12 normal arrows, 8 to 16 gravel, 8 to 16 blackstone. Now at a 4.36% chance per trade, there is 5 to 12 nether quartz, 3 to 8 string. Then at a 2.18% chance, or about 2.2% chance, there is 2 to 4 ender pearls, which is a very coveted trade by speedrunners. There is 10 to 36 iron nuggets, 1 water bottle that has no effects, just a filled up water bottle. Then we have at a 1.74% chance, a potion of fire resistance that's 3 minutes, a splash potion of fire resistance that's 3 minutes, or a pair of soul speed 3 boots. It can also be soul speed 2 or 1, so any soul speed level of iron boots, you can get those. And at the least chance, which is a 1.04% chance, there is an enchanted book of soul speed 1, 2, or 3. And all of that equals out, of course, to the 100% chance that you'll get a trade from the piglins, but when you're trading with them, you'll get only the items within this chest, and only up to the highest numbers that I have here, as that's literally the best trades you could get out of it. So if you're interested in any of these items here, piglin bartering or trading is definitely the thing for you. Also, as a quick side note about piglins, be sure not to confuse piglins with piglin brutes. Piglin brutes are single generation, so they just spawn in with structures of the bastions, and they look just like this. They're incredibly deadly. They can kill you in 2 hits with full netherite armor unenchanted, so they're quite strong, and you cannot trade with these no matter how much you try. Dropping gold ingots on the ground, they won't. However, standard piglins, which are of course allied with piglin brutes, you can trade with, so you can still find these guys at bastions. You just cannot trade with these, and you should certainly not try, or you'll probably end in death. Now, an interesting feature of piglin trading is confiscating the ingot. If we give our piglin the ingot like this and we hit it while it's still looking at it, the ingot will just disappear, it'll give us no items, and it will become hostile at us. And at that point on, it'll take a while for it to not be angry anymore, and then we cannot trade with it in that time. So it's good to know that you should probably not be hitting your piglins when you're trading with them, or they'll just take that gold ingot from you. And you cannot trade with baby piglins. Here you can see it's holding an ingot here that I gave it earlier. It will look at the ingot, but it'll just look at it for a while. In fact, it has 2 in its hand right now because it's quite greedy, but it will not give you an item in return. It'll just hold the item just like that and eventually put it into its inventory or pick up a different item instead. Now, piglin bartering, as you've probably seen already, is quite a valuable and worthwhile thing to do in Minecraft. However, there's a couple things that need to be done to make this more efficient and also more worthwhile. Of course, the first thing is, well, how in the world do I get all of this gold? There's a couple things you could do. The first thing you could do to get this much gold is you could mine gold ore in the nether, which for some reason I can't find right now, but it generally does spawn quite commonly in the nether, like there's some right up here. And you can get raw gold nuggets right from that, and then just convert that into ingots, because of course piglins will only give you items with ingots. Another thing you could do is you could mine for gold in the overworld in the mesa biome, as in the mesa biome gold is very, very common at basically every Y level, so that could be a good opportunity. Another thing you could do is you could make an above the nether roof gold farm, which there's lots of tutorials for on YouTube, and those are also very efficient at getting yourself tons and tons of gold ingots. But either way, once you have a good supply of gold ingots, how do you actually make the trading itself very efficient? Now, the first method is what I call a piglin pit. This is kind of a funny little method, but it is quite a quick way of setting this kind of thing up. All you basically do is just dig a small space in the ground like this. And you just kind of have an area near to it like this, kind of on the diagonal block like that. Then you simply attract some piglins into the pit with gold. So you throw down some gold. And I'll do this in survival just to show that it works just as well. When they're looking at the gold, you simply just push a piglin in, or you can even put gold in there and sometimes they'll jump right down in. Then once we've gotten quite a few piglins in here, which I'll just simulate right here with my spawn eggs, just like this. Let's say we have a whole bunch of piglins in here. All you'd want to do now is basically get gold boots or some other cheap to craft gold armor items, maybe a helmet as well. And then put a whole bunch of gold boots in here so that they all have their gold boots and none of them are going to despawn, since that's of course quite important. This will also stop them from grabbing the soul speed boots that they sometimes give you, as they sometimes pick up the own item that they barter to you, which is kind of funny. Now that they're all armored up, all you have to do is just grab a whole bunch of gold ingots, throw them in here, have them very loudly look at it. Trick of this block here is the fact that when they're all looking at it, you can grab most of the items through the crack here, but if you have it completely surrounded just like this, and you kind of have these areas where you can stand at all the corners, then you can very easily pick up all the items just by literally walking around it just like this. That's quite a simple way of grabbing all the items from trading, by going into the corner, picking up the items into the corner for each of the things that they grab, and you can see they'll just continue to trade just like this. Now this is a very simple piglin trading farm, but it does work pretty well if you want a quick way of getting piglin trading, or maybe just you want a little area to capture these guys and don't want to spend a lot of time on a fully automatic farm. A piglin pit like this does work, but something we can do that's a lot better is an automatic piglin trading farm, and these are actually very simple to make. In fact, they only require the items in here. They just need 6 chests, 3 hoppers, 2 carpets of any color, I just like purple, 17 glass, 1 dropper, 1 redstone torch, a button of any type, I just like crimson, but it should probably be a wood button, some building blocks of any type. These are also used as temporary blocks, so maybe 64 would be good. You of course want some gold to make the farm run. We need 6 pairs of golden boots. We need a light-weighted pressure plate or a heavy-weighted pressure plate, so basically an iron or a gold pressure plate. You could use wood, but it works a lot slower, so it's not really ideal. Then to actually construct the farm, of course, we'll need a golden helmet to not be killed by piglins. The rest of these items are just temporary, but they are some pistons. You technically only need 1, but 2 makes it easier. Some levers, again, only technically need 1, but 2 makes it easier. And 2 blocks of redstone. And of course, probably some pickaxes and other tools like that. So we'll grab all the items here and build this farm. It's actually really nice because it is such a simple farm, it can be made decently early game. So all we're going to need to do is break 2 blocks in the ground like this. You don't actually have to though, you can also place the chests above the ground, but in the ground like this is a bit easier. So place 2 chests like this, then a block away, place 2 like this, then break 2 blocks on this side or the other side, but this side is what I'm doing. Right click with a hopper on here and while shifting, and that will put this into there. So then shift click on there as well, and you'll have the hopper going into that chest. Then what we're going to do is we're going to place a purple carpet on top of here and on top of here. It can be of course any color. We're going to place pieces of glass on this side, so 2 here and 2 here, and then we're going to place 1 in the middle here, and then 2 here and 2 here, just like that. Then we're going to place 2 glass here and 2 glass here. We're going to place 1 block right here. This is not temporary, just whatever type of block you want. We'll put a button on this side, and we'll put a redstone torch here. Then we're going to place 2 temporary blocks behind here and place the dropper there, so it's right on top of the torch there, and of course get rid of these temporary blocks here. Then we're going to get our light-weighted pressure plate and place it right there, and we have our nice gold look. Now before we place any other blocks on this piglin bartering farm, we need to get the piglins in the farm, and that's actually pretty simple. The first step is going to be to break some blocks right here, just to basically get access to a block that's facing the hopper here. Then we're going to place a block of redstone right next to it there, and that will power that hopper, making it so if we put some gold in there, just like this, the hopper will not suck that up temporarily because it's being powered. Now we just have to find ourselves a piglin like this. Well, it's a baby piglin, so we'll get ourselves an adult. Here is an adult piglin, and placing down a piece of gold, it's going to go of course over to the gold. If we kind of attract it further and further to the edge here, it's eventually going to go right in the hole here because there's the gold there, but if it doesn't, you can just simply push it into the hole just like this, and then it'll stay in there. Now what we need is we need 3 piglins in every single pod here. That may take a little while to go over, find the piglins, and get them back. So the trick will be, so these don't despawn, is to find a piece of armor that the piglin is not wearing. For instance, I don't think this one's wearing boots, and we'll just simply give it the golden boots right now early, so we're sure that it will not despawn. Then once it gets the golden boots on, we're assured that that piglin will stay there no matter how far out we go to find more piglins, or even if we decide to go far away and then come back and have piglins here later. Now once you have 3 piglins in each pod, which I totally didn't just spawn in creative mode, make sure that each piglin has their boots on. So if there's 3 piglins in each pod, you're going to want 3 pairs of boots per pod, and then once they put them on, then they're going to stay there. You don't actually have to bother with a name tag, which is of course quite a waste of items. Also, it looks like I forgot to put my golden helmet on, so let me do that real quick before they kill me by accident. Now the trick we're going to need to do now is to block these piglins in. And it's a little bit more complicated than you'd think, because the carpet's there and the piglins are up a bit. We need to put the glass actually slightly over the piglins, so we cannot just place the glass right above them there. We're gonna put a piece of glass to the side here and here. Then with some temporary blocks that will just build up around here, we'll place a piston on top of those, so we'll get ourselves our piston, put it there. Then with a lever or a redstone block, put the lever here, right click on it, it'll make it push the glass here. Now that glass is in the right position. Then we can grab these items and go to the other side and do that as well. So basically just build up with temporary blocks, something like this. Put down the piston again, just like that. Or that's actually the wrong way, we'll have it face in just like this. Then we're going to put in the lever like that, right click, have that go over there as well. Now that part of that is done, which is awesome. Now we just need to get some more glass around this area here. So we're just going to surround this area in glass. So we're going to have glass on top of the pressure plate and to the side here like this. We can now get rid of all of our temporary blocks around here because the farm is now basically done. Also be sure to get rid of these redstone blocks because of course those shouldn't really be there if we want to get items through the hoppers into our chests. So we'll just maybe fill this up right back with netherrack just like that so it looks nice. And one last step on the farm is to get storage for the gold. You're going to want to start by putting some gold in the dropper already. But once you have gold in the dropper, then you want to place the button here so that gold dispenses out there at least once and it gets kind of picked up by the piglins there. So you can already see it working, which is awesome. But of course you want more gold storage. I think I just actually accidentally picked up the gold there, so be sure to make sure that you do not pick up the gold. And basically, when that's running, this torch will sometimes turn off, which will make it so this hopper can work correctly. We'll put a hopper into the back there by shift clicking. We'll get our double chest and put it here and here, right on top of it like that. Then we can fill this up with as many gold ingots as we have, and this will basically go through here filling up automatically, and these piglins will trade, drop their items, and the items will go in here, and you can see that working already. This is literally the quickest it can be, so the second one of these dispenses, a piglin stops looking at the gold and it picks up another one, so it's perfectly timed. So you definitely want 6 piglins in here with the gold pressure plate because the timing of that is perfect. In fact, if we look at this for a little minute here, you'll see that as soon as a piglin's head goes up, it'll immediately grab another piece of gold that's dispensed there. This is a perfect system just like that. And of course, once it's out of gold, or if you do pick up the gold and want to stop it, you can stop it like that by picking up the gold here, and you can start it again by pressing the button here. And as long as these piglins are wearing gold boots, they will never despawn, and you can grab the loot out of here. But anyway, that's the entire automatic farm, how that works. It is pretty simple, and it works quite well, made with very, very easy blocks, and that will get you as many piglin-related items as you want very, very quickly and easily. And of course, you could build this next to maybe another gold farm or something else that you'd be AFKing by a whole lot, so that this will run simultaneously. So that was the Minecraft 1.18 Piglin Trading / Bartering Guide. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to press the like button, subscribe, comment, share. Also feel free to join the official iCraftMC Discord server and iCraftMC Reddit. Follow me on Twitter as I do very occasionally tweet on there, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye!